This documentary captures the essence of Vishwadharmi, Professor Dr. Vishwanath Maharaj's extraordinary life and mission, illustrating how one person's vision can create bridges between seemingly disparate worlds and inspire generations to build a more peaceful, unified global society.
विश्वधर्मी विश्वनाथ शांति का संगी, धरती पर बजाई तूने प्रेम की सारंगी। सरस्वती मंदिर ज्ञान का दीप जलाए, हर मन में सद्भाव सच्चाई से भाए। संत ज्ञानेश्वर अलंदी के घाट, तेरे कार्यों की है अनोखी हाट। है विश्वनाथ शांति के ज्ञाता, बढ़े हम तेरे पद चिन्हों पर। भविष्य की राह में एकता का दीप जगमगाता।
In a world often divided by science and faith, by tradition and progress, one man has dedicated his life to finding the harmony between them all. His journey began in a tiny village, but his vision would eventually embrace the entire world.
The inspiration that I derived from the great noble son of India, Swami Vivekananda, and his words of wisdom, that union of science and spirituality alone will help to bring harmony and peace to mankind, which he uttered at Chicago on this very land of United States of America on 11 September 1893.
This is the story of a visionary who saw no contradiction between the laboratory and the temple, who built institutions of learning and monuments of peace. Born on February 3rd, 1941, in a tiny village of Rameshwar in the Latur district of Maharashtra, Vishwanath Dadarao Kharad came from a pious farmer's family. The seeds of his future philosophy were planted early. A brilliant student, he passed his SSC examination in 1958 in first class with distinction, standing first in his school and second in the Solapur Center. His academic excellence continued through his BE in Mechanical Engineering in 1963 from Pune University.
My elder sister, named as Tyagamurti Rayagakakara, means a person with a tremendous sense of sacrifice, devotion, dedication. That has been the really instrumental person in my lifetime, at least. I don't remember the face of my mother. At the age of 3 or 4, she passed away. In Hindu tradition, there is a system that after the death of any person, the next day they normally gather together and naturally they have a belief that soul, the spirit, it lingers all over in the surrounding. And that time somebody has to say that yes, they will take care of the children. And my elder sister, she was hardly 19 years old, but she got up and she went to those ashes which were lying there of the fire. She had picked up that ashes and she applied it to her forehead. It has a meaning that if a married lady, she wipes out that kumkum or tilak, it means she is a widow. The people were shocked. She said from today onwards, I have given up everything. I have become a sannyasi, is the word in India, and called her husband and said to him, this land, the building, the money, the bank balance, everything is yours. I have become a sannyasi. Since that time, for 70 long years, she had taken care of me. It has been her sacrifice that has made me what I am today.
As a professor teaching mechanical engineering at the College of Engineering, Pune, Dr. Karad encountered something extraordinary. While teaching thermodynamics and particle physics, he began noticing striking parallels between modern scientific theories and ancient spiritual wisdom.
Saint Dnyaneshwar, who narrated the very principles and laws of nature and life, he reveals the reality, the ultimate state of matter, and makes a narration, Om Namoji Adya, Veda Pratipadya, Jaya Jaya Swasamvedya Atmarupari. The meaning is simple. He says the entire universe is a manifestation of pure intelligence and consciousness. And when he uses the two words intelligence and consciousness, he further says you must also know the rising of the sun in the east and going to the west is an illusion. The Aristotle, Socrates were punished for their narrations like this. But the same truth in the 100% scientific way was stated by Saint Dnyaneshwar, and now that has become the guideline for the whole world. And that's why I became an engineer. I do understand what is particle physics, what is IT, what is Google, what is Facebook. All these are revelations of the nature of the universe. Soul search is what is called as consciousness. And now the greatest scientists and the great people of the whole world, they are telling us, like the engineers or the professors or vice chancellors, that you must start the schools of consciousness and reality. And really speaking, comparing philosophers and Dnyaneshwar to Albert Einstein is the real journey that has begun. And I have a pleasure that I could understand both these aspects.
This realization was crystallized by Swami Vivekananda's prophetic words at the 1893 Parliament of World Religions in Chicago. Union of science and religion alone will bring peace to the world. This became Dr. Karad's life mission. In 1983, with this revolutionary vision, Dr. Karad founded the Maharashtra Institute of Technology, now MIT World Peace University. He pioneered the unaided engineering education movement in Maharashtra. But this was not merely another technical institute. Dr. Karad integrated value-based education with scientific learning, creating what he called a winning personality: physically fit, mentally alert, intellectually sharp, and spiritually elevated.
Friends, I don't want to elaborate much about this, but this is what the universities have to think very seriously, and the educational systems all over the world, whether it is Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, Boston, or BYU itself. And we have a duty to perform, and accordingly I can only quote one important sentence, an appeal to the Vice Chancellor and the body of trustees that we have to certainly think of the universal education system. And when I say universal education, you may say that every nation has a geography, history, its culture, its traditions, but the time-tested human values are common. The law of nature is common. It is one and the same. It cannot differ for me or for you.
Dr. Karad's work gained global recognition. In 1996, he organized the World Philosophers Meet, a parliament of science, religion, and philosophy. This led to the establishment of the World Peace Center at MIT on December 1st, 1996. In 1998, UNESCO Paris bestowed MIT with the UNESCO Chair for Human Rights, Democracy, Peace and Tolerance, in appreciation of his work blending science, technology and spirituality. That same year, Dr. Karad represented India at the Second Global Conference of Science, Religion and Philosophy in Geneva, Switzerland, taking his message of unified knowledge to the world stage. Dr. Karad's visionary thinking found its ultimate expression in the philosopher Saint Dnyaneshwar World Peace Dome, the world's largest dome, which he conceptualized, designed and created. This architectural marvel houses 54 statues of great spiritual leaders from all faiths, including statues of saints, philosophers and scientists.
When this dome itself was created, for the first time again, but those statues are the men of history. They have met the history of mankind. Jesus Christ, great Gautam Buddha, Guru Nanak, Kanakdas, Purandardas, Saint Dnyaneshwar, Saint Tukaram, Einstein, Newton, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, Kant, Hegel, you take the names. They are the makers of the history of mankind. But possibly it is the duty of you and me, the men of education, men of devotion, dedication, culture. You take all names. And as I said to you again, religion is nothing but to perform your duty. Duty towards your mother, the father, the family, the society, the nation and the whole world. The entire world. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. World as one family.
Dr. Karad's holistic vision extended to environmental work. He established the Shri Kshetra Alandi Parisar Vikas Samiti in 1986, bringing sustainable development and pollution control to these popular pilgrimage centers. Through his medical initiatives, he ensured that healthcare reached the poor and downtrodden, stating that doctors are the first social workers in society as they serve the ailing, both physically and mentally. The journey of 1,000 miles begins at home. For Professor Dr. Karad, his native Rameshwar was the first canvas. Here, he built the Manavta Bhavan, not a palace, but a hall of humanity. This is where his abstract ideals met the ground. Before this, the village had no common space. Now, it is the heart of the village. Weddings, festivals, literacy programs, everything happens here. Professor Dr. Karad taught the villagers that development begins with a place for people to come together. Manavta Bhavan embodies the first tenet of Professor Dr. Karad's vision: service, seva. True spirituality must manifest in tangible good for the community. Just as his philosophy seeks to build bridges between ideologies, in Rameshwar, he literally built one, the Ram Rahim Setu. The name itself is profound, combining the names of revered figures from Hindu and Islamic traditions. This bridge connected two parts of the village that were separated during the monsoon. It's more than concrete. It is a symbol. It tells us every day that we are connected, we depend on each other. This bridge represents the second tenet, unity, ekta. It is a physical daily reminder that harmony is not an abstract concept but a practical necessity for progress. In the shadow of one of Hinduism's holiest shrines at Badrinath, Professor Dr. Karad placed a tribute to the goddess of wisdom. This Saraswati temple is a key to his logic. Pilgrimage should not just be about devotion, but the awakening of intellect. Most visitors come here for Lord Vishnu, but this temple reminds us that to truly understand the divine, we need Vidya, knowledge. It is unique. It asks us to honor both the heart and the mind. Here lies the third tenet, knowledge, Vidya. For Professor Dr. Karad, spiritual pursuit is incomplete without the pursuit of learning, and true education is a sacred act. What amazed us about Dr. Karad is his ability to see connections where others saw divisions. He didn't just talk about unity, he built institutions that made unity practical and achievable. In a world of increasing specialization, Professor Dr. Karad represents the Renaissance ideal, a mind that embraces all knowledge as interconnected. His World Peace Dome stands as a physical manifestation of this unified consciousness. Even with monumental achievements, Dr. Karad remains a simple man of austere habits, a strict vegetarian, lover of Mother Nature, and a proud bearer of Indian culture. His influence continues to grow globally. In April 2024, Brigham Young University honored him with an honorary doctorate, recognizing his contributions to education and world peace.
I like to quote from the ancient text of the India called as Atharva Veda, one of the religious scriptures they call. It says, "We all are the birds of the same nest. We may wear different skins, we may speak different tongues, we may believe in different religions, we may belong to different cultures, yet we share the same home, the Mother Earth. Born on the same planet, covered by the same skies, gazing at the same stars, breathing the same air. We must learn to progress together or miserably perish together. For a person can live individually, but can only survive collectively."
From a small village in Maharashtra to global recognition, Dr. Vishwanath Karad's life reminds us that the most powerful transformations begin with a simple idea, that all knowledge is one, all humanity is family, and peace is possible when we honor both our laboratories and our temples.
हे विश्वनाथ शांति के ज्ञाता, बढ़े हम तेरे पद चिन्हों पर, भविष्य की राह में एकता का जगह